Good morning, everyone. We'll just give people a couple of minutes to jump in on the call, and then we'll get started. Okay, then, everyone. In the interest of time, what we'll do is we'll get started, and then if anyone else joins along the way, then they can filter in. So, good morning. My name's Steve Pearce. I'm the hardware specialist here at Bytes. And we're joined today by Raj Shi, who I will let introduce herself very, very shortly, who is the partner CTO for Microsoft Surface. So if we just go to the next slide, just to give you an idea on the agenda today. So we're first off going to be speaking about AI, Surface and Microsoft, new Surface AI PCs, benefits of the MPU, which is been the talking point on the town at the moment. Surface and Copilot, once again, Copilot being at the tip of everyone's tongue at the moment. The Windows Studio effects, and finally, it's not on there, but I will come back at the end just to discuss our very own Bytes Managed Workspace and how we can assist with a service wraparound that goes with these fantastic devices. So without further ado, I'd like to pass over to Raj.
Great. Thank you very much, Steve. Good morning, everyone. I'm Raj Shi, and like Steve mentioned, I lead the Surface technical strategy for our incredible Surface partners here in the UK. So I have the privilege of working with our awesome partners like Bytes. And really, in this session, I'd like to cover what it really means to enable AI from a Surface standpoint, and how we can really take you through that AI journey with Microsoft Surface, in partnership with Windows, and of course Copilot, which is your everyday AI companion, or your AI personal assistant, whether that's for personal use or for work. But let's just get started. And before I really delve deeper into our AI PCs, I would sort of like to give you a bit of an idea of the AI market today, and what we really see customers asking for, and where we see real successes. So there is absolutely no doubt that we're seeing like the biggest shift of our generation. The modern workplace is transforming rapidly. So it's not just about manual processes or just about automation or digitization. It's a lot around giving your employees what they need, the right tools, how they work, how they engage, and how they truly drive productivity. And of course, the benefits and impact it has on businesses. So we're already seeing that, more than 64% of people are struggling to do their job because there's so many routine tasks, mundane processes, and a lot of manual processes in place still today. We also see that, it's not just about AI replacing jobs, or AI posing as a threat, but a lot around skills augmentation. So really getting AI to be on your side and helping it do your best work. So more than 70% of people would actually like to delegate as much work as possible to AI to lessen their workload. And we're already seeing that it's boosting productivity, increasing engagement, employee experiences, and really helps sort of reduce time and cost over a period of time. So you can realize that investment almost immediately, if you may. And if you come back to sort of apps and sort of Microsoft, and we see that a lot of partners and customers and or end users in general are always on some kind of a Teams call, or any kind of teleconferencing sort of apps, and they've just been taking far too many calls, especially since the onset of COVID. So that goes to show that we're almost in a hybrid workplace at all times, whether that's across the enterprise, with end users, or in general, how you sort of work with the device you use today, day in, day out. And to give you a bit of an idea and flavor of the market we're in, the AI PC market is definitely going to change over the next 5 to 10 years. And we're already seeing incredible growth in the AI PC space, and how silicon advancements are sort of truly transforming the future of AI PCs. Here we have something from Gartner, which really shows you the hype cycle of AI, and goes to show, that generative AI at the edge, neuromorphic computing, prompt engineering, all these great things are sort of really up there. They're here to stay, and they're really going to sort of shape how we perceive devices. So it's not just a mere device now, it's about how fast or how efficient and how secure your devices are, how well they let you sort of engage with different forms of input like touch, voice, and really having that sort of natural input experience. So no longer are they just a screen and a keyboard, but much more than that. And then again, sort of posing as a platform for you to build on top of. So, and if we really, look at AI in general, we really get to see that in the modern workplace, a lot of business leaders, and they're really trying to sort of understand the real benefits of AI for their organizations. And it goes to show that the business outcomes that they really expect are in fact these, right? And this is through different studies and research carried out by Forbes, by Harvard, by Wall Street, and goes to show that they want to improve customer relationships. They want AI to help them increase productivity, to increase sales, and really reduce those response times. And not only is that going to sort of help you save cost and time, but that's going to streamline job processes. That's going to really give you the nice insights and data and really enhance that decision-making process. So you've got, much more informed decision-making now. And more importantly, you have a bit of freedom and flexibility with how you use AI in the workplace. And that's really made possible with Surface. So coming to Microsoft Surface, as as the way we sort of lead and protect the Windows ecosystem, the Microsoft Surface is a premium product, and we really sort of differentiate ourselves from others, especially in these key aspects. So if you look at sustainability, our products are one of the most sustainable and repairable devices than ever before. We really want you to get the best return on investment with products that have a high residual value, and these devices will really unlock the potential of the modern workplace, because you have not just a PC but more of a platform, right, where you can from the moment you turn on a device to the kind of experiences and the power, the battery life, the experiences you have with the device physically is really transformational. And we've got security. We take pride because of how our devices are built and designed. They're secure core PCs that really highlight our story from chip to cloud. So with security layers built in throughout, so embedded at each layer from not just our cloud but our apps, and right down to the client and firmware level. and giving you options around accessibility. You know, we just launched last month as well a series of adaptive accessories, so helping our users really unlock the power of Surface through different ways of, you know, using a keyboard and mice. So that's, again, you know, taking into account the customer experience, right? We've got almost something for everything and everyone. And again, bringing it back to device management, Surface devices are really powerful devices, and we made the processes and we made our tools and, you know, dashboards and experiences so simplified and streamlined now. So again, bringing the benefit for IT teams. And most importantly, now we've got, you know, this powerful AI opportunity and how you can really unlock AI at a local level with Surface devices. So moving on, today we're really going to focus on, you know, the Surface and the AI piece, but, you know, feel free to chat with Bytes around a lot of these areas. And if you think this resonates with you, or you would like to explore, you know, certain aspects of Surface, you know, Bytes, our incredible partner, is there to help you. But bringing it back to, you know, AI and Surface in particular. So if I sort of think about AI, you know, over the past sort of years, AI has sort of been perceived as a thing of the cloud, or made for, you know, technology companies, or companies will have to really dedicate time and resources for cloud services. But now we're bringing AI right down to the device level. So, you know, we're taking AI from cloud to the apps to the operating system, and now it's all about, you know, local AI and how you really leverage AI from you know, a chipset. And I'll go into that detail a little later. But right now, we can already see a lot of customers are loving our AI opportunities that we're providing, and the kind of investment we're putting in our products and our platforms and our devices. So more than 77% are saying that they don't want to give up Copilot, which is our, you know, everyday sort of AI assistant across our platforms. They're already saving, you know, more than 71% time on mundane tasks. They're being more productive. They're having a better experience, and they're really improving their quality of work. But also, more than 77% will actually choose Copilot over free lunch. So I hope that goes to show something, that, you know, it's well perceived, and it's actually, you know, successful in the market since we've launched it. You know, in the past year, we've really thought about, well, we've got Copilot, but also all these great ways of interacting with, you know, an AI assistant. So, you know, what does it really help you to unlock? But if we now look at Surface, and we you know, last month, a few weeks ago, in fact, we launched a really exciting set of Surface devices to our portfolio. Our first ever, you know, Surface AI PCs designed exclusively for commercial customers. But before I sort of talk a little bit about it, I'd like to roll this video. Fantastic. So as you guys saw, we launched our two new devices, the Surface Laptop 6 and the Surface Pro 10 for business. And these are, exclusively our new commercial AI PCs. And with that, we also launched the Surface Copilot Key, so a dedicated Copilot key on our keyboard. And these devices are truly, powerful and transformational for businesses, because not only are they going to have, incredible benefits for employees, IT, and business, but they also come with a dedicated AI chipset, or the NPU, or what we call as the neural processing unit, which I'll talk to you a little bit about later. But these devices are great. We've heard our customers, talk about the things they would like. We took their feedback and really came back with a completely new difference, and a completely new different sort of experience around PCs. So having a powerful AI enabled device that really helps you with those hardware AI accelerated experiences, and really helps you also interact in much more seamless, unique and personalized ways with your device. So whether that's through, inking, we've got best in class inking, almost feels like the pen to paper sort of experience when you're, say, writing or scribbling or typing on your laptops. So with our Surface Slim Pen 2, for example, ways of interacting with the device, so, through voice or facial recognition or object detection, all those things, because now we've got the powerful AI smart cameras with an ultra, wide field of view. Then we've got the great sort of Surface Studio Clarity mics that really enhance that sort of, voice focus. So ensuring there is noise suppression technology in place. So always making sure that you look and sound your best. And again, the NFC reader, and also things like anti-reflective technology. So we've really worked on our Pixel Sense touch display screen. So making sure that you can always have a very nice sort of viewing experience. So whether you're in like fluorescent, really high light or bright light sort of environment, or you're in a dim space. So for example, frontline workers or any kind of, laptop users, really, wherever they are, the screen sort of adapting to the light in the surrounding, and all those things. But also very exciting Copilot key. So a key dedicated to Copilot, where you can literally start Copilot, instantiated from your keyboard the moment you press it. So you'll have Copilot pop-up. So whether that's, in Copilot in Windows on the edge, or if you paid for a separate license to actually leverage Copilot, so say Copilot for Microsoft 365, whether in your apps like PowerPoint, Word, Excel, Outlook, Copilot key will actually spin up Copilot, so you can start chatting away on the side and ideate and get your work done better and faster and in the way you want. So that's a little bit about what we've launched recently. So new from Microsoft Surface exclusively. But let's talk a little bit about not just Surface, but the end-to-end experience. And Surface really helps you elevate your experience because it's designed by Microsoft and designed for Microsoft. So when you have something that's end-to-end Microsoft, starting from the hardware and then moving on to the software, and when you have, say, a Copilot experience added on top of that, you have the best possible experience with your device, powered by Windows 11, again, because of the great capabilities of Windows 11, the security, and also how it enables these sort of transformational workplace scenarios. And all of this is actually done to help with the help with driving business agility and operational efficiency, first of all, but more importantly, the whole security experience, the simplified deployment and end-to-end device management piece, and really help you sort of decide what kind of AI experience you want with it. And we've already seen that customers who are investing in Surface are seeing almost 3 times the investment cost over a period of 3 years. So the ROI is definitely high. And we have a dedicated team that work with our customers day in, day out to help them unlock the potential of Surface. And the way, at least I see it, is, Surface, you start off with a Surface device and it really unlocks all these doors and all these new opportunities to leverage our Microsoft 365 stack, the integrations and the capabilities of Windows 11 with Surface, and then more importantly, giving you the options to have the best possible experience with your device. And a little bit about, how we really drive these unique AI benefits with Surface. Well, when your employees have, say, a powerful device like a Surface Laptop 6 or a Surface Pro 10, and we also have a couple more Surface, AI-enabled devices that we launched last year. So the Surface Pro 9 with 5G that comes with optional sort of LTE connectivity, and the Surface Laptop Studio 2, which is much more powerful and is great, especially for, say, your technical teams or just really high workloads. So powerful, robust, and really powerful in the sense that if you've got applications to build or platforms to integrate with, or just wanting a much more powerful device, that's the one for you. And they also are AI enabled. So we've got 4 devices currently in the market today that are AI enabled. And when you have these kind of devices, your employees have the options to now, interact better with their teams, to engage better with the devices, to have these sort of collaborative, more human connected experiences because of how our devices are designed, putting people always at the center. So having a very ergonomic, human-centric design around, the touch, feel, how the haptic sensors work on the trackpad, or how our keyboards are designed, how durable they are, how repairable they are, and really having those versatile options for input, like I mentioned before. All of that really enhances the employee experience. And then when we think about IT, well, IT now really has that peace of mind because they've got great ways to maintain the devices, state in your organization, making sure your devices are compliant, making sure that you've got, say, the Surface Management Portal to really view view and monitor sort of the health status of your devices across the organization, and really have that privacy and control of the data and the people using those devices. So very easy for IT now. And again, for businesses, this is driving not just value, but continuous value for businesses, because now you're able to bring in net new opportunities. When you have powerful devices, you work better, faster. You have the peace of mind that your device is not lagging, or you've got, say you're always on the go, or you're just working in a different hybrid setup, or devices that come in different form factors, in different sizes, shapes, look and feel, are really powerful because it's giving your employees now the option to pick and choose what works best for you. So, whether you're using a laptop or a pro device, the 2-in-1 capability. So you can start, walking around with it when you're riding, or you can have like a detachable, type cover, and even like some of our bigger ones, like the laptop Studio 2, that can sort of fold and bend, and again, having that sort of experience. And then we've got the bigger ones, and of course the Surface Hub, which is like our collaboration device that works really well in a meeting space, or a, sort of like in a meeting room experience. So we've got all those different options, and how you unlock AI with each, again, comes back to, how you would like AI to benefit your organization. So let's just start a little bit with the basics. I've talked about AI, the benefit, what Surface is and how it can help you, but what really does it mean when we say that Laptop 6 and Pro 10 are new AI PCs? Well, an AI PC is essentially, one that comes with an NPU. So we partner with Intel, and a Surface Laptop 6, for example, comes with the Intel Core Ultra H class processor, so giving you the incredible power and performance in driving those new productive, creative, secure experiences. And again, we've got a dedicated Copilot key on the keyboard. So this sort of comprises of what an AI PC is. And, especially from a Surface standpoint, we're really making sure that our customers really have the best possible experience, a powerful, fast, efficient way of working when you're using these kind of AI PCs. And I've talked a lot about NPU, but I've touched on it. But let's sort of understand, well, what exactly is an NPU, or how does it really help you drive the performance? So we've always talked about, the CPU and the GPU till now, or the CPU, or the central processing unit, really helps you sort of execute those, lines of code, and helps you do all the basic things that a PC should be able to do. And then we have the GPU, or the graphical processing unit. That's the bit around graphics, really helping you sort of render, images and all of that. But then you've got the NPU, or a dedicated, AI chipset built in, that is now going to work on those AI experiences locally, right? So it's a lot around understanding, well, an NPU will actually help free your CPU and gain some of those AI experiences in parallel, right? So what it means is that now you've got much more efficiency, because your CPU is no longer, burdened with lots of different apps. And, say you've got lots of tabs open in your browser, or you're running really high intensive sort of workloads. So that puts pressure on your CPU. And over time, your devices become slower, or they're not really running the way you want them to. So again, has impact on the battery life. So with an NPU, you've got the power, the performance, the efficiency, and more importantly, when you're offloading those experiences, and especially around audio and video, you're really ensuring that those experiences running on the NPU in parallel are staying within the remit of the NPU. So that again has, that affects how your device operates from a power per watt efficiency aspect, and more importantly, the security, right? The NPU is extremely secure. We make sure that we're working on the whole system on a chip architecture around how these devices are built. So making sure that your devices are extremely secure at each layer of the firmware. And as I said, having an AI sort of experience made possible by an NPU helps, because you now have much better compute and a much faster, efficient, and secure, device, which puts, again, less load on the CPU. So if I've made that, sort of simple enough, a CPU, for example, can continue to work on all the apps. Say you've got PowerPoints and, files, emails open, all of those things. But say you're taking a Teams call on the side. So the NPU, for example, can handle the video and audio processing within those Teams calls to help ensure that, the great sort of video and audio experience isn't really affecting the CPU. So for example, currently I'm using the Surface Laptop 6, and I've got that Windows Studio FX, which I'll talk about soon. I've got that enabled. So, like I said, I've got lots of tabs open, files open. I've got my whole dev sort of platform open, and I'm taking this Teams call with you guys. And as you can see, I've got a great sort of camera experience. So making sure I look crisp and clear. My audio is sort of, again, very enhanced because of the voice functionality in Windows Studio Effects. And of course, as I sort of move across, the camera, I'll have those features enabled, really making sure that I'm always the object of focus when I'm taking calls. So really enhancing that experience for me virtually. And if we sort of have a look at this sort of quick animation, what performance benefits do NPUs bring to AI? So like I was saying, bringing those, AI inference workloads for real-time efficient, high bandwidth AI. So if you have a look, this is your CPU, GPU, and NPU running at the same time, and you can see that the NPU is purpose-built, right? So it is processing these sustained AI workloads much faster and better. And while the AI workloads can be processed on the CPU and GPU, the NPU will provide much more significant efficiencies because, because of the power and the performance and the speed at which this is processing things. So again, you're using less power on your device now, and you're producing less heat as well. So that hopefully that gives you a bit of a visual experience. And Now let's look at some of potential experiences that are enabled by hardware accelerated AI. So we hope that in the near future, as we continue to invest and work on these AI PCs, we'll unlock many more powerful experiences. For example, right now you've got the great capabilities of audio and video made possible by NPUs. So say voice activation or object detection or fingerprint or gesture tracking, eye gaze technology. All of this is really powerful because if you think about different verticals and how customers today want PCs to work for themselves. For example, a frontline worker might be working in a noisy background or backgrounds with dim lighting, or they need, say, different ways of authenticating or different ways to talk with their colleagues through a walkie-talkie or just a different kind of frontline worker communication. Then all these devices that have a powerful camera and audio experience will definitely ensure that your end user has the best possible experience. And if we look at all these different ways of interacting with data, with people, with files, and how you engage with them, you really are able to build out a modern experience that works with you because of how these AI PCs are designed and how they enable you to unlock that potential. So these are just some, ways of how AI PCs can help you. But again, this is not limited, right? We're sort of in the early stages, and there's many, many more experiences coming. And if I quickly show you how we've sort of taken, a Surface Pro 9 with 5G, which is again an AI-enabled device that comes with an NPU. Now, on the left side, you've got a CPU background blur, and then on the right side, you've got NPU background blur. And if you can see the difference very clearly, the NPU background blur is much more accurate, much more natural. It's able to pick up the object of focus and really render the image or the object very, very nicely. So the blurring experience is much more natural. And again, the NPU is enabling that better segmentation and a better experience for end users. Because come on, I'm sure we all use blurs all the time, right? That's one of the most common features used in calls, using a background blur or a custom background. And you don't want half your face to be blurred out, or a blur that is so bad that it doesn't even blur anything at all. So we know that's going to make a difference, right, with an NPU device. And if I sort of again focus a little bit on how we've seen our devices operate and how we run AI features. So what we use, we call it operations per second, or TOPS. So that's a way of measuring how our devices perform. So in NPU computing, the NPU included on our Surface Pro 9 with 5G can process up to 15 trillion operations per second, or 15 TOPS. And that's allowing it to concurrently run AI features while also sort of performing everyday tasks. So it can do all of this with optimized power consumption. So very powerful. And you can see, with a CPU, that's the power consumption, 20 watts, and then with the NPU, that's the amount. So huge difference. And that's just on one of the features, for example, face framing or automatic framing in Windows Studio Effects. And we've got this AI PC now, but I was talking about Copilot as well before, and we really see the power of our Better Together Microsoft offering come together, because if you're using a Surface device and you really want to enhance your productivity and creativity and unlock the best possible AI experiences, you can do that with Surface, and you can do that with Copilot. So this is really ideal, especially because Copilot is that everyday AI assistant for you in different ways. For example, you can use Copilot in Windows, so a pane popping up on your right when you're on your desktop, or you can use Copilot in the browser for free. Bing, Copilot in your apps, again, a separate license, but that's really helping you engage and interact through keyboard, through pen, touch, voice in different ways in Copilot now, because of how Copilot is built. And together, so they really bring out the world-class security. So we're again looking at data, how that's sort of governed, shared across the organization, and really maintaining that chip to cloud security throughout. So making sure your data is always secure, and you have that peace of mind that whether it's your data in transit or data at rest, your data stays with you on your device, right? So really ensuring the privacy. And again, Copilot in Windows 11, Microsoft 365 have been tested across millions of data frames, and we've really modeled it with different frameworks and made sure that you get the best possible experience. So Copilot, with Microsoft Surface and Windows 11, that will drive a completely new modern workplace, situation for you, because now you've got the best of everything. And when you sort of bundle it all together, you have the best possible experience end to end. And if we really look at, Copilot and the benefits in general as well, when you have Copilot, you can keep your executives informed, because, for example, if I'm in a Teams call and I've got Copilot in Teams running, I can say record a meeting, I can have live transcription, I can have at the end of the meeting, say I couldn't attend the meeting or I missed parts of it, I can come back at the end, get that Teams call, summarized, take away actions, and have like Copilot, summarize that for me perfectly. I can use Copilot to, query my emails in my inbox, for example, and I can take away key actions. I can use Copilot to ideate, to brainstorm, to draft templates, whether that's emails, PowerPoint slides, or just Word documents, whatever it is. There's so many different ways you can use Copilot, and really, again, amplifying IT efficiency. So making sure that Copilot is easy and safe to use. You can have your operations running smoothly. You can help your HR teams now with hiring and engagement. So driving Copilot experiences there in different ways, because now you're interacting much better, faster, and also in different sort of personalized ways. And again, helps a lot of the creative teams. So for example, marketing, or you've got creative professionals, how they ideate with Copilot is really fascinating, because you've got audio, video, and sort of the whole ability to write and use voice. So that's really powerful. And again, when you have an AI assistant, you're able to really streamline your business processes, take that data away, and do your best possible work, because you've got that companion on your side, and that's helping you do the work like you want it to. So you're the one in control here, not the AI assistant. And finally, let's talk a little bit about Windows Studio Effects. So, with these AI PCs that have the NPU, so Surface really brought this to life with Windows Studio Effects, which you can use today with these PCs. We've got these great sort of features and functionalities. So the automatic framing, the portrait blur, the eye contact, and voice focus, which I've talked about in bits and pieces. But the automatic framing is like when you're in a Teams call, for example, as you move across the the camera frame, the camera's really trying to find you at all times and zoom in and make sure you're always at the center of the frame. With eye contact technology, it's making sure that you're always looking at the camera in a very natural way. So that's powerful. So say you're looking away, or you're sort of reading your notes, it's maintaining that natural eye contact. Then we've got the portrait and the background blur. So the portrait blur is a very natural blurring experience, and then you've got the background blur, which is a stronger blur. So like I was showing you, comparisons with the CPU and with the NPU, the blurring experience is really enhanced here. And the audio features, like I said, you could be on the go, or you could be just in a very noisy environment, and the Studio Clarity mics built into our Surface devices really make sure that you are able to speak perfectly fine, and you'd be heard just right. The mics really focus on your voice and basically blur out and cancel out all other background noise. So really, really powerful there. And that's Windows Studio Effects made possible with the help of Surface and the NPU built in. And if we look at, why Windows Studio Effects today. So we've been talking about these great, audio and video enhanced experiences, but it's really to improve the effects and make sure that whoever is using our devices is confident, because we want to make sure you have the best possible interaction with your device. We've used lots of different models, deep AI networks, and we've seen that the results are really powerful because now you've got low latency, you've got low power AI effects. It's not affecting your battery life. It's not affecting your CPU as much. And of course, it's having that really powerful interactive experience and driving that human connection and collaboration end to end at all times. So, you're having better meetings that are much more productive for users, and that's letting you be more confident at all times. And then we have, of course, the better performance with the NPU, which I've been talking about. So powerful performance because it's driving, a longer battery life, the power per watt efficiency, and much lower resource utilization. So you've got that high fidelity now. So the NPU is really powerful, and when you combine the CPU, GPU, and NPU together, you have a much better experience with your PCs. And our Windows Studio Effects are built in a way that, we've developed all these AI models, but they're built in a way to be extremely consistent across all our supported devices. And that's regardless of the OEM or the NPU models that we're using. So that goes to show that we've really, taken all these data frames, all these models, different language models and different sort of frameworks on how we built it, right? So these experiences are consistent, are really continuous, and are giving you exactly what you need. So it doesn't matter if you're using Surface or not as well. And finally, we've designed it with responsible AI, and that's really important to us as a company as well. Microsoft runs on trust, so we want to make sure that how we give our customers these devices, these products, these experiences are built on fairness, on trust. They are open. You know exactly how we made them, and your data is yours. And how you interact with your devices, again, comes back to you and you having them only. So we have no control over the data. We have no control over anything. So really, it's all yours. And we're really doing that in a very secure and compliant way and maintaining industry standards. So we want to make sure that we're protecting our customers entirely throughout their experience when they've got these PCs and when they're using these great features and functionalities. And if I sort of sum it up in totality, our Surface devices bring incredible advantages and customer experiences, because when you're running these AI models with GPUs and NPUs, now you have much greater privacy, less latency, potential cost savings, and efficient processing. So again, very briefly, you have the potential for greater privacy because now you're keeping your data local to the device, so it doesn't have to be sent back and forth to a third party, or doesn't have to be sent back to, say, a cloud or different sort of I guess different APIs and all these things that you might be interacting with, right? So whether you're using that offline or online, that doesn't matter anymore. You've got the data there with you, and that's yours to keep. So for example, speech and facial recognition, health monitoring, legal documents, we know the level of sensitivity and confidentiality and privacy that's required. So we understand that, it's really important to protect your data and your files and the kind of experiences you have with the device. So no storage or, traversal of that data at all. So to and from the cloud sources. Then you have less latency. So like I was saying, that has an effect on the response time in queries. So you've got reduced latency in voice requests and recognition now, and that's today to help you with a lot of those voice assistants and transcription services that rely on speech recognition. So that's usually been done in the cloud before. So usually you might have say a delay, right? Because you're making those requests and they could reduce the time to response. But when you have these kind of AI capabilities on your device, that could really make reduce the time to response, but make the interaction much more natural, inclusive, and much faster as well. And finally, you're saving costs on those cloud compute resources, right? Because now you're really minimizing those data transfer fees, or you're minimizing the fees you pay for API usages. You're reducing the costs around compliance because a local compute versus traversing the cloud, like I said, there are costs to make sure that you really need to have that experience that you want, but also not having to pay a lot either, because of how these local AI experiences are built around the PC. So that goes to show that massive cost savings are important for us, and how we design that into our products. And then finally, like I said, efficient processing has been sort of like a priority as we continue to build these devices with NPUs. Again, reduced memory, power, and battery usage. So minimizing continuous sort of cloud processing and making sure that you've got the best, fast, secure experience with our devices. And, we've talked about all these different things, but really, if I bring it back to everything I've talked about, Microsoft Surface really helps bring that software and hardware together more than ever before. And as we sort of approach that from device to the cloud, we really want to make sure that you can build that end-to-end AI experience and something that really will help you support your employees' IT and business today. So the best way to really get started is to start, with proof of concepts on devices like our Surface Pro 10, Laptop 6, or even the Pro 9 with 5G or Laptop Studio 2. And that will really help you as a business to also embrace an AI-centric future and really make sure that you're future-proofing your device estate today. And as we sort of take those steps towards modern management through security, making sure we've got the right governance and data practice, it will help you sort of also adopt AI at the edge and in the cloud, and just how you want it, right? So yeah, I hope that's sort of given you a bit of an idea of what it means to experience AI on Surface with Windows. But yeah, now I'll hand it over to Steve, who will give you a bit of an idea of how Bytes can help you with your AI journey today. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So hopefully that gives us a real deep dive into these latest devices. I've been lucky enough to have a play around with these myself. Fantastic devices, and they really go hand in hand with a lot of the Copilot functionality and those AI features that we're all looking for. What I want to talk about now, if I may, and hopefully, Raj, you just give us a thumbs up that that's changed to the right screen, so I know that I'm doing that. Excellent. Is BMW, and BMW, unfortunately, doesn't mean that we're going to offer you any kind of free track days or cars. BMW stands for Bytes Managed Workspace. And what this is the service wraparound that comes with the addition of providing you guys with the hardware. So as we know, when it comes to purchasing hardware, it's a very simple resolve of buying a piece of hardware and it arriving. My job role here at Bytes is understanding what happens next. And it really does allow us to focus on trying to relieve some of that pressure that is on yourselves and your IT teams in regards to pre-configuration and management of these devices going forward. So BMW allows us to focus on security of the devices, flexibility with allowing you to try new vendors such as Microsoft Surface. It's scalable. We can look at forecastable spend with terms of OPEX and CAPEX payments, and we're able to offer a unified supplier. We're known as Bytes Software Services, but quite a few businesses don't actually know that we do deal very heavily in the hardware market, and in particular this service that goes around the outside of it. So what is BMW? Well, BMW is that device procurement and the device finance options. It's also the device disposal. And that comes really into play when we start looking at the sustainability pieces that is a real focus for businesses at the moment. It's important that we are removing older devices in the right way and making sure that we are having a real focus on that green initiative. With regards to the services, this looks at the deployment of Intune and Autopilot the secure and management of all of your devices, as well as additional first to third line support service desk, which can alleviate again some pressure on your IT teams if you are under constraint there. The key problems that this resolves is that resource constraint. A zero touch deployment method goes in place. Security and compliance, we touched on it earlier, but it's absolutely essential that if you are working towards your ISO accreditations or Cyber Essentials Plus, for example, that we are matching what your requirements are and making sure that you are falling in line there. User satisfaction is absolutely key, and Raj did touch on that earlier when she was explaining about the feelings that these users get when they have systems that just work. As users, it's all we ever want to do. We want to make sure it's working, it's up and running, and it's allowing us to be as productive as possible. Stock allocation, we're able to actually hold your stock in place. So if you are to buy devices up front, we can hold that in our warehouses. We can then configure that device and get it into the hands of your end user as and when you ask us to. A configuration of a device at any one time will take between 1 to 2 days maximum to be in the hands of an end user. Predictable billing means that if we have this in place for you, you know what your spend is going to be. We can then take advantage of a promotion at a time that is going on. We can then hold that stock in place for you instead of you ordering devices here and there where prices will fluctuate up and down as we've seen. So the service components, they start from the pre-provisioning, as I mentioned, and that is getting all of these devices up and running beforehand. I did a survey a little while ago, and the average deployment time from when it is delivered to an IT team and into the hands of an end user itself is between 3 and 4 hours at the moment. If customers are buying 50 devices at a time, this is taking anything up to 2 months to deliver these devices into the hands of end users. And that's where that constraint really starts coming into play. With the greatest respect in the world, you guys want to be focusing on areas of the business that really require your attention, as opposed to that old fable of people sat in the back of a room with this giant pile of laptops and configuring through and imaging and getting there. We can continue with that device management on the way through. So that's from the OS and the application patching to any upgrades that are required. We can have these sent directly through, and this all goes hand in hand with that Intune and autopilot experience. We can then support the devices. We can do device boots, we can do user profile remediation, application, device, platform performance remediation. We can even look at security incidents alerting. And finally, we can look at that deprovisioning side of the business. That deprovisioning being that device decommissioning, looking at the joiners, movers and levers and improving that service. What happens when you have a mover or a lever in the business? How can we get that stock back, place it into your stock, wiped, reallocated and given to another member of staff? How can we do that remote device wipe as well? And these are all areas that we are focused on. With regards, apologies, with regards to requirements for this, and bear in mind, we can get you up to this level if need be. It's ensuring that we have Windows 10 Pro as a minimum, Active Directory P1, and Intune. Once again, as I say, if this isn't set up, you're still running off of SCCM, your licensing needs to be uplifted. These are all areas that we can assist with. And we've been working very closely with Microsoft in order to get assistance in getting you guys up to this level in the quickest and most painless time. Devices are a real talking point for me at the moment, especially with the end of Windows 10 support in October next year. So businesses just like yourselves are really looking at this at the moment and seeing how it can be delivered. And at Bytes, we just don't want to be another reseller that just provides you the hardware, the tin, if you will, and says, there we are, away you go, and along you go with your current problems. We want to solve those problems with you, and we want to understand that journey and improve not only that experience for your end users, but improve that time back in your hands so that you can focus on the areas that really require your attention. That's it from me, guys. If there are any questions on hardware or on the Surface devices in particular, or the BMW offering that I've discussed, please feel free to reach out to your account managers. We are here to help. We understand the equipment, we understand environments, and we are positioned in a way to support you in the way that is needed. On behalf of myself and the Microsoft team, I'd just like to thank you all for your time today. Really appreciate you taking time out of your day to listen to us, and thank you very, very much.